see. Where's the YouTube link? Thank you for that.
Okay.
Now, of course, I'm not going to find the YouTube link. I just want to see what it looks like on YouTube. So I have gone live.
Okay, let me go on there.
Because I remember when I first did this.
Okay, I'm there.
Because I remember when I first did this.
Okay.
It's not showing the screen.
Mm-mm. And I can't see the live chat either. That's also strange.
And it says we're broadcasting.
Yeah, I can see the live. I can see exactly what you see, but I can't see the live chat.
Now I'm watching. Now I'm seeing it. Okay, there's a delay. I've clicked on the screen and it's busy uploading.
Okay, it's much better. That's clearer. That's how it should be.
You see it on YouTube?
I did, and then I went out. I'm just trying to find this live chat.
Because now I'm just running along now. Okay, so you can
Yes,
see the.
I can see it.
Okay,
but
cool.
I can't find live chat. Why can I not find live chat? I'm going to go in another way. Okay, let me go on there. Such a delay.
It is, isn't it? All right, so when I've shared my screen, like I have now, it's sure.
Okay,
yeah,
great. I can chat in the live chat. Why is there such a delay though, Tim?
Well, I suppose it's going through what's the streaming thing and then over to YouTube, I guess. Look, we won't notice a delay. We won't notice a difference. But yeah, crikey, it is. It's like about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to leave it on the screen for now then. Even longer. Yeah, the delay is even longer than 30 seconds, like a minute.
Mm.
Okay, all right. I'll keep my
It's not.
YouTube
It's about 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay. I'll keep my.
Not even. It's probably less than 10 seconds because I'm kind of timing it.
Just have to mute yourself there on
Yeah.
your phone.
Yes, I am.
That's weird. I can't do chats on here. Oh, I'm not signed into YouTube. Is that why? If you want to chat, do you have to be signed in?
Sometimes when I click on that link, it doesn't always go to YouTube. So then I actually log into my subscription to Gift of Legacy. And that's how I found it.
I've logged in. Okay, so when I just click on the link, it takes me through to YouTube through the website. Then I can't do chats. If I log into YouTube on my app, then I can do chats. Now that's very that's off-putting actually. We're going to miss a lot of people comments.
Well, no, but Tim, can't you see comments on StreamYard?
No, what I'm saying is, so I clicked on the link we send everybody.
Yes.
Okay. And I could see then the presentation, big delay, but I can see it, but I can't chat. I can
That's
only
what
chat.
I said. Yeah.
Right. I can only chat when I've logged in through my app.
Yeah, that's
If
what
you,
I'm saying as well.
which is very poor, because we're going to have a lot of people who are going to join the presentation who we're not going to be able to communicate with because they've just clicked on the link and gone through their normal browser. So they're not chatting to us.
Yeah.
Now, on my screen, I can only see the presentation. I can't see the presentation because it's mirroring my screen, what I've got here. So if I go and change my screen on my laptop, it's going to change. Everybody's going to see what I'm showing.
Oh, goodness.
So the StreamYard's actually got some big disadvantages.
Mm.
Huh. Yeah, you see, I've gone and, yeah, I wanted to see if I could do a dual screen on my laptop, but then everybody's going to see dual screen. So yeah, it's got very, very few functionalities. I can't mute myself when I'm on because I don't have access to that screen. There must be another way around of doing it. I won't change now. We've got people coming on. Okay, I'll have to be quiet.
What people? Okay.
So I've got everything set up on my screen because the one that's saying it's still too dull and you can't do any of the animation. So I'll share screen with it.
Tim, you might want to mute your mic. Tim, do you want to mute your mic? I can still hear you.
So I went on my phone, just clicked on the normal thing, I wanted to see the screen just check that I've got it correctly. And when you click on the link, it logs you through your browser, logs you through the browser to YouTube. And because you're not as an individual logged into your account on YouTube, you can't chat. When I log into my account, so I went through my app, my YouTube app on my phone to the GL presentation, then I can chat. So that means all the people that are joining are just clicking on the link can't chat. This is something useful. Yeah, missing something big there. And I can't see, because I'm showing on my screen, I can only, what I show and see on my screen, everybody sees. So I don't see the chats. As the host, I can't see what's going on the screen. As soon as I change it, then everybody sees my screen. So the limitation is actually quite big. I think one of the big things you've got to consider is that you're saying to people, you want to Q&A, but all those people aren't going to be able to ask questions because they can't chat, unless they're logged into a YouTube account, which is a big negative. YouTube, if you don't have a YouTube account, it did it for me. Because my phone uses Chrome, so I clicked on the link and sent everybody open in Chrome, but then not chat. It's because of where I've seen it. Well, yeah, so it's, anyway, reset. Yeah.
So I could hear you, but I thought it was on YouTube, but it's only on StreamYard.
Oh, hello. Could you hear me?
Hi.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Is there other people there? I can't see anybody. I can only see my screen. We will get started in 3 minutes.
Yep.
Well, interesting. I seem to have lost connection with the presentation. So
Oh.
if anybody's listening to us, bear with us as we're working on a way around what's to Adele and I still a new platform on StreamYard to stream directly to YouTube. So bear with us as we get ready. Let me try one more time here. There we go. Right, well, I'm with Adele. Good evening. We're both sitting here. We may as well chat to each other.
Hi, Tim. It's lovely to be here again. Goodness, load shedding has messed us around in our schedule for the past few weeks.
Yes, these power cuts and chaos, and the reality is it's just going to get worse. I was at a dinner last night with a gent who's written a book just about what everybody else isn't talking about, and when he knows the insides of what's going on. I had to ask him to stop talking because it's not pleasant.
Yeah.
And I can mention it in this environment with Gift of Legacy because the solution is completely off grid. That's the solution. Yep. He actually he saw the problem because he's from the industry. He installed solar powers in 2006 on his house. And ever since then, he's been off the grid 100% since 2006. And when he installed the solar and all of the electrical components, I'm not an electrician, I'm sure somebody online is, it cost him the same as buying a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
Wow. I'd rather have solar than a Mercedes.
Well, that's it. The reality is, Adele, we've got an opportunity here with GL for people to generate the cash flow in order to go and buy and install their solar powers. Fortunately, these days it doesn't cost the same as a Mercedes to do it, but
Yep.
well, we've got to look outside of the box if we just maintain what we're doing in our normal businesses or our normal job.
Absolutely.
It's
So let's tell people how to do it.
Well, that's why I'm here. This is all about generating an additional income stream as well as helping other people and so on. My name's Tim Wagner. I'm going to just chat to you very quickly to introduce my amazing co-host here. I love sharing with Adele Spear. She lives in Johannesburg. She's a pediatric occupational therapist. She's also a community activist who is always keen to get involved with community activities, loves the outdoors, being creative and spending time with family and friends. And Gift of Legacy resonates with her from a community spirit and her absolute love of helping other people. I'm going to hand you over to Adele, and then I'm going to come back and chat to you and share with you shortly.
Oh, thanks, Tim. It's lovely to be here again with you this evening. Welcome, everybody, from a beautiful Johannesburg. We had our first summer rainstorm today, and it reminds me of that song, God Bless the Rains Down in Africa. When it rains in Africa, we know the summer is here. So we are celebrating this evening. Tim is my co-host tonight, and I'm thrilled to be here with him. Tim has been working on online businesses for the past 4 years after he gave up his job in the hospitality industry. He is now focusing on coaching and training dads and moms. It's not just dads, but he's training dads and men how to find their life purpose and how to create a legacy for themselves and their families. And with Tim's knowledge of corporate and his passion for uplifting others, he is helping others to reach their true potential. And this fits in perfectly with Gift of Legacy. We are all about coloring your world and creating abundance for everyone. So that is why we are here today. You are here by invitation only. And I know I've invited a lot of people to tonight's call. So if I've invited you and you're here, thank you from my heart to yours. And if somebody else invited you, you're in good hands because we are here to share this amazing community with you. It's not an opportunity. We are inviting you into our homes and our hearts. We want to tell you about Gift of Legacy. So a quick disclaimer, this presentation is for information sharing only, and it is not to be construed as financial advice. Neither myself or Tim or any other presenter are registered financial or tax advisors. The information given is only intended to give examples of what you may expect when you are active in our community. So by introduction, we just want to let you know that Gift of Legacy is a gifting activity. Basically, it's a website that is supported by an algorithm that drives the sustainable movement of gifts between individuals across the world. This is a new economic paradigm. It is replacing traditional structures that no longer serve society. We were just talking about it now. We are no longer just satisfied with one stream of income. We are here to thrive and not merely just to survive. So let's talk about gifting. Who is gifting for and what's it all about? Well, if you like me and you believe in the principle of sowing and reaping, if you believe that when you give, you will receive, and this is my favorite, when you enjoy blessing somebody that you don't even know, if you want to take control of your life and you enjoy helping others succeed in life like I do, and this resonates with you, then let's get started and let's share this opportunity with you tonight. Gift of Legacy is a global gifting activity. And I'm going to keep using that word activity because it's something that you need to be actively involved in. There are no limitations of borders, and we have members in over 100 countries around the world, and it's growing. We are uplifting communities and ourselves, excuse me, and we are creating abundance and encouraging self-development. It's not just about the money, but it's about personal growth as well. So we're going to talk about sacred economics. And if you're not sure what that is, it's the idea of gifting or sharing between communities that's actually been around the world for centuries, but it traces back to the 1960s in our modern culture. It is 100% legal, and it's been off the mainstream for decades. In Africa, We talk about the Ubuntu culture. You might know it as a birthday club or a community spend, or where people put money together, but it's all about communities helping one another. And we have blessed millions of people. We have given hope, education, and financial abundance to people across the world, redistributing wealth into the hands of many. And this is a bit outdated, but about 2 months ago, we had already distributed more than 40 million US dollars amongst our Gift of Legacy participants. And that's incredible. That's a huge amount of money there, Tim.
Amazing.
We are a decentralized community. Decentralized means that there's no company, no institution, no broker, and no trader. When you join Gift of Legacy, you are simply interacting with a website that tells you how to send your gifts across the world. All you need is a computer and a smartphone and a good, stable internet connection. We use WhatsApp and Telegram, and it's almost essential that you have these because that, along with email, is how we communicate in our peer-to-peer gifting. So what does peer-to-peer mean? It means it's person to person. And this is what's really exciting for me. When you join, you are going to send a gift directly to another person. There's no third party who is controlling any money. There are no tokens on any platform. And so it's 100% risk-free. It's between you and another person. It's perpetual. Perpetual means infinite, ongoing, non-stop, and passive, which means that you can receive gifts and send gifts repeatedly, sustainably, and frequently, over and over for generations to come. That means you can create generational wealth for you and your descendants. So Gift of Legacy is more than just a gifting activity. Gift of Legacy, for me, has become part of my lifestyle. We help each other to grow. I've made great friends in this platform, in this community. I've never met Tim, but we've got to know each other, and I've met many other wonderful people who are supporting me, and I'm helping to support them. We are uplifting one another. So when you join, you gift from your heart. You share the love. I can't stop telling people, and that's why I've invited many of you here to the call tonight. You guide your people, your team, and when you become a legend, you start building your legacy. We are a community who have the same vision. We want to change lives. Tim, will you tell us how to do it?
Amazing. Thank you so much. You've given so many what I call golden nuggets in that 10 minutes. I would encourage anybody who's seeing this for the first time, go and watch that again. Have a listen to what Adele's actually saying. And I'm going to share and repeat a little bit of what it is as I explain how the actual money works, the boards work, and a lot about these perpetual, this thing about how perpetual works. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that as well. So Adele mentioned that I travel. I'm actually a digital nomad, been working in online platforms, which means I've been involved in many different styles of presentations, cryptocurrencies, networking, network marketing, multi-level marketing. I've been scammed. Perhaps you've been scammed, or you know somebody has been. I've never been a scammer. I've always been on the receiving end of the losses. And those are what I call university fees. I've never lost money, but I've had some very expensive university fees in life. So when I came across the gifting economy, it struck me as it was so out of this world and out of the box. Firstly, I looked at it and I thought, could this actually be true? Why have I never seen this before? So if you're asking about that, well, I looked back at it and I thought, well, I wasn't ready for this. I needed to make a lot of mistakes before finding out the real way that it can actually work. That's why I call them golden nuggets, and I'll identify those for you as I'm going along. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story, which was my aha moment as I went through this. So I think the first thing to clearly understand is there is stuff that you will need to do. You can call it work. Some people do. I don't call it work because I've worked in hospitality. That was work. This is not work. This is fun. But there is stuff that you need to do in order to benefit. There's no free ride. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, not an investment scheme where you put some money in and you sit back and don't do anything. If you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen. What's called the boards, they're not going to move if you don't do anything. So although there's a wonderful system and the algorithm and a perpetual cycle built into this, sitting back and doing nothing is going to get you, well, not a lot. Let me show you what I mean. In the next slides, we're going to follow the yellow U. There's two basic requirements of everybody. And if you are not committed here and now to doing these two things, you're welcome to log off, as we're not looking for anybody who only wants to do one of them. The first is $100 is required to gift to the legend. This is the one and only time that you will ever take money out of your pocket. And the second one is, I'm going to share that with you in a moment. Keep you held on. You'll see on the board on the screen here, it says there's 4 boards, 100, 416, 5,000. $5,000 board, phenomenal, amazing. You've got to move through on each of these boards 4 positions. So you can call it a game if you want, like a board game. There's some big numbers on the bottom of the screen there. You make note of those. I'm not going to talk about them now. I've been around for long enough to be presented with wonderful numbers, but only the dude sitting right at the top of the pile who got in early, got in first, he makes it. So I'm not going to tell you about those numbers. I'm going to show you how it works here, that you can easily become that dude at the top of the pile who actually then goes back to the bottom anyway and starts all over again, because everybody has a chance. And you'll then see the benefits for yourself. Let's look at this and get started. $100, you gift the legend. I'll explain that now. It's one person. One and only time you ever take money out of your pocket. Never again. No monthly fees, as Adele said. There's no platform that takes a commission, a percentage, etc., etc. That to me was a golden nugget number one. Once off, nothing else ever. So I figured, well, if it doesn't work, if the platform crashes, if I don't work it, if I can't work it, if I'm not interested, I actually haven't lost any money, because what I've done is I've given somebody else somewhere in the world $100 and helped them to uplift themselves. It's not gone to a big corporation or some dude who drives a fancy Ferrari. This is for somebody who is trying to live a better life. Peer-to-peer, nugget number 2, person-to-person. I love that. You don't have to ask your money from anybody. It comes directly to you. How? There's multiple ways you can read there. We'll teach you about all of those. When I first started this, I didn't even have a PayPal account. I've now got a PayPal account I use in multiple of my business. I learn about this stuff. Cryptocurrencies, that's me. I teach you about that forever. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2016. Amazing stuff. But if you don't know how to move money around the world legally, swiftly, efficiently, and as low cost as possible, we've got all the teachings in our academy to help you with that. And there's no third party, no middleman. There's no cuts and pastes and different ones and a structure within a structure. This is it. You are following a system that is has been designed by multiple people with decades of experience and knowledge in the gifting economy. This is the shortcut. So you don't have to work out a shortcut within the shortcut. There isn't one. I'm sharing it with you right now. $100 you gift the legend in the middle. $800 is what you get out when you're the legend. You'll notice at the bottom there's a gifter, a builder, a guide, a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere. It's mirrored. Okay? When you come in as a gifter, you gift the person in the middle. That's the legend. All the boards are designed in the same way and move the same way. It's just the amount that changes. So here's how it works. You join as a gifter. You are introduced by somebody else who's on this board. You come in. You're going to then have the contact details of the legend. You're going to gift that legend, because the system, as Adele said, is purely there to introduce you to the legend and the legend to meet you. There is also an amazing board chat. Use that board chat. These are only the people on this board who can communicate with each other, motivate each other, help each other, see somebody going slower. How can I help you? Let's do this. We are a community after all. So that's where we got this community board chat. Absolutely phenomenal. You then going to join, register, absolutely easy because there's no money on it. It's simply email address and a password that you create and your cell phone number. In you go. You contact the legend. You say, hi, legend. My name's Tim. I'm new on your board. I have $100 to gift you. How would you like to receive it? The legend says, that's amazing. Thank you very much, Tim. What a privilege, pleasure, losing my words, to meet you. I see from your cell phone number, you're also in South Africa. So am I. You can do my bank account. I've got FNB or ABSA, whatever, or even cryptocurrencies. And if you want, because maybe it's an international person, that's cryptocurrencies or PayPal or World Remit or one of the other ones. PayPal's personally not my favorite. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is available for you to use. And as a legend, you want to make it as easy as possible to receive your gift. Why would you make it difficult? So I have multiple ways that people can gift you from around the world. And that's exactly what Adele's shown you, then explain that to you. Other people are going to be coming in, and each of them as they arrive are going to be gifting the $100. Now, what can happen now is there's something magical. I'll explain a little bit more about that now. But one side of the board, if it moves, can move quicker than the other side. But what the legend is going to want to receive is $800. 100 by 8. Not bad. $100 in, $800 is what you're going to receive in your first round. However, hold on to that. Don't go party. That $800 is not all yours. We have a gifting economy. What is required of an economy? The flow of money. If you receive it and then disappear with it, that's called a recession. There's no flow. We are an economy. I'll come back to that just now and I'll show you how the numbers work. Now what happens? That board's filled. You move up to the next level. What is your role as a builder? Remember I said to you there's two requirements. The first was, and you agreed because you're still here, to gift $100. The second is you're going to share this with people. Now, why not? Any business anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter what industry you are in, requires people. And this requires people. You're a people, you bring in people. Who? Like-minded people. Adele will explain to you just now who they are. But they are more used. These are people that you want to be business with. Now, this may not be business. Treat it like a business, and it'll respect you and pay you like a business. Treat it with respect. What do? Follow the system. You're another builder. The person who brought you in is a guide. They've moved up. They're going to teach you what they've learned. You're going to teach the gifter what you've learned and bring your two friends, family, colleagues, whoever it is, somebody you know. A and B, they're called. Got very simple names in this game. Keeping it nice. The other builders bring in their two people until 8 are done. When 8 come in, this board is complete. It finishes. The legend's got $800. They leave the top and go back to the bottom. I'll explain that to you just now. You move up to the next level. What's your role as guide? You'll notice that your two builders that you brought in, your two gifters you brought in, have now also moved up their builder. You've moved as a guide. What's your role as guide? Exactly what it says. You're called a guide. You guide your builders. What do your builders do? They do what you've just done. It's a simple rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Builder A brings in their two. Builder B brings in their two. This is now where it gets exciting. In this example, and it doesn't always work like this. In fact, it rarely works like this, but it can. The left-hand hemisphere is working quicker and more efficiently than the right-hand hemisphere. Now, when this happens, you do not need to wait for the other people to come to the party. Everybody goes at their own pace. If this is the case, you can move to your own board as legend immediately without waiting for the other side. How powerful is that? So you are rewarded from your work and effort that you've done by helping your two people do their two people, do their two people. As simple as that. 7 people and you're there. What happens next? Well, you'll notice A and B, who you brought in, are now your guides on either side of you. And their people they've brought in, C and D, and E and F, are now going to be bringing gifts in as well. It doesn't all come in necessarily in this order, but you are going to be required to finish this board to have all 8 gifts come in. So your responsibility, legend, yes, you're going to sit back and you go, wow, it's amazing. But you want to be on the chat. You're going to motivate your people. You're going to chat with them. You know who your 2 people are. They know who they're two. You have a community, a Telegram channel, a WhatsApp channel. You're talking to each other. You're helping each other. Why? You want to get your 8 gifts. Why do you want to get your 8 gifts? Well, not only does it give you $800, but it gives your 2 people the chance to go to the legend on their own boards. That, to me, is more motivating and powerful and inspiring than just me receiving $800 in gifts. Now this board is complete. So if you are the skeptic who says, it's one of those pyramid Ponzi style schemes, this is why it is not. Once you've finished at the top, the guides go to the top and you go to the bottom. Aha. So there's 2 places that you're going to go. You will remember that your original board was not finished. The right-hand side. Now, let's say that 2 people came in on the right-hand side in the meantime while you were building as a legend on your own board. You're going to go to the bottom of another $100 board and gift the legend, who is still the same legend, $100. So you're going to be helping the community. Quite amazing. There's 2 things that happen, though, once you've finished the board. The first is you're going to move over to the silver board. The system will allocate you automatically onto a silver board. You are then gifting 400 of that 800 you received to a new legend who could be anywhere in the world. You're going to go to the bottom of the next board. Hence no pyramid scheme, because you don't stay at the top. Everybody's opportunity. The quicker you put it in, the quicker you're going to then get, the quicker you and more you put in, the quicker you're going to get to the top. $100, as I've explained already, to get you the bottom. That's a perpetual position. We don't have perpetual boards because a board is made up of you as a person who's coming to a perpetual position. So you're going to another $100 board and brand new people coming in. The same on the other boards. It's either going to be people who are cycling in a perpetual position or people coming from a lower board up. So boards are made up of two different types of people. It's not a perpetual board. It's a perpetual position that you hold on a board. How do you move through quicker? Introduce more people. Help those people on the $100 move through quicker. And when you're making this amount of money, why would you not? It was at this point when I first saw this board, I didn't understand the system. I didn't understand. It didn't make quite sense to me how the system worked, but I figured if I'm putting $100, that's my expense. I'm then receiving 800. I've got costs of 500. I'm pulling out 300. That means I'm doing a 200% return. I'm a business guy. It's a gifting economy, but I still look at it. This is money, and I treat it seriously. $100 in, $200 profit. Took me 4 days. How long is it going to take you? A day? An hour? Depends how active you are. A month? A week? 2 years? Who would want to wait 2 years? Come on, get on with it. What you put in is what you get out. Took me 4 days. I was excited. I thought, that's it. I don't need to see anything else. Because if I can do $300, I can do 3,000. If I can do 3,000, I can do 30,000, etc., etc. This is where it gets really exciting. You've got two objectives in here. The first is be on all 4 boards. I'm going to show you now. And the second is to be on perpetual cycles on all the boards, because you can only be on one board at a time. So now as a $100 position, you're already moved over to the next board, the $400 board, which means when you go through the same cycle again, through the same structure and system, remembering you don't need to add 2 more people, because you are a perpetual position. You've done the work already. You're welcome to. And if you want to do it quicker, I'd encourage you to. And if you've made that amount of money, why would you not? But you don't have to. So let's say that you've just brought in your 2. You don't have to bring in another 2. That is done. You've done it once. You don't have to do it again. It's 2 by 2. Now, when you finish on this as a legend on the $100 board, you're only gifting $100 to get back onto a next perpetual position on another $100 board because you're already on a 400. So you're now keeping 700 over and over and over again, forever in infinity. The same system applies on all the other boards. It's only the amount of money that changes. $400 in, $3,200 when you're legend. $1,600 is the next board. Now it gets exciting. $1,600 goes to the legend, which you're gifting on the next board. And $400 to get a perpetual position onto a $400 board. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, you're receiving $1,200. So you don't want to stop at the first board and say, oh, I got my 800, that pays off some of my problems and school fees and Christmas or whatever it is. No. You're being very narrow-minded. First of all, if you go and walk off with that $800, you're creating a recession, as I've explained already. This is an economy. It's not all your money. You're looking after it for some people. You hand it back in. Your $300, which is more exciting, $800 or $1,200? And if you're finding that, well, even $1,200 is not enough, let's have a look at what happens now on the next board. You're now going on to the $1,600. Oh, the perpetual cycle. How's this for a number? Cycle, second time round on a $400 board, because you're already gifted on the next board, you're keeping $2,800 in your pocket. I've done this, and man, it feels good. Not only because I've gifted somebody else $400, and most of the time these days, internationally, I don't even know who the people are in some countries around the world. But now $1,600 you're gifting to a legend again, you probably don't even know. And wow, why am I so excited to give somebody $1,600? Because I know it's only a matter of time when 8 people are going to be gifting me that amount of money. That's $12,800. Let's see how this works. 5,000 of that you're going to give over to the gift over to the legend on the last board. $1,600 you're holding. Now remember the first board. You were gifted $800. If you said, oh, that solves my problems, I'm off, I'm out of here, Firstly, you're not helping yourself. You're not helping the people that you brought in. You're giving them a bad example. You're not helping the community at large. And you're going to miss out on $6,200. Which would you prefer, 800 or 6,200? And you see why it's so important to remain part of the economy. Don't be narrow-minded and just look at $800. That's not life-changing. Being on the perpetual boards is life-changing. That's the goal. Perpetual cycle, $11,200. I've done this, and wow, it makes a difference to your end of month. I can promise you. $5,000 board, the final one. This is when you get gift of legacy insomnia. You're no longer lying awake at night going, how am I going to pay my bills? You're now lying awake at night going, how am I going to spend my money? What a wonderful problem to have. Let's have a look at how the numbers work. This is the last board. So you're only keeping back $5,000 to get onto a perpetual position on another platinum board. You're keeping $35,000 every single time. Now, in South Africa, that's a whopping amount of money. I think in every country around the world, that is a worthwhile chunk of money to follow a sustainable set system that has proven its time. It's 10 months old already. Now, most gifting economies that are popping up all over the place ever since the whole pandemic lockdown chaos that have been coming and going do not last more than a couple of weeks, if a few months, and then they crash. The automated system here is amazing. Just needs people. Perpetually, $35,000 over and over and over again. How do you do this quickly? You help people on the $100 board. It's the only board that you can influence. It's the first board. Go back to the $100. Put yourself in again. Add another position. Absolutely no problem. You're welcome to do that. Understanding you've got to bring in 2 people, but then you'll know what's going on and you'll follow your lineage. Called the lineage. When you bring people in, it follows you through. So if you're sitting back and going, nothing's happening on my board, the question is, what have you done? What have you done to help the 2 that you brought in? What have you done to help their 2 that those 2 brought in, etc., etc., etc. Take a screenshot. I'm going to stop here for 30 seconds. This is a picture that you take a screenshot of and you print. And you stick it on your fridge door. Look at those numbers. When you wake up tomorrow morning and you're making your morning cereal or your oats or you're having your coffee and you open it and take out the milk, have a look at those numbers again and you decide, is it worthwhile a few hours a week following a set system? What's the system? You were doing it. The person who introduced you is following the system. That's all you do. To this, that you could start earning additional cash flow on top of what you're doing by Christmas. Follow the system. It's entirely possible, entirely up to you. If you decide not to, absolutely no problem. Be committed and do it or don't. There's no I should do this. You either do or you don't. It's simple as that. If you decide that I don't want to do it, screw it up, throw it in the rubbish bin, go to your boss at work and say, walk around to your boss, give your boss a big hug and say, boss, I had the chance of extra money and financial freedom, but I chose you instead. I love you. And go back to work and live a happy life. That's not a problem. It's your life. Can you see how these numbers are possible? 42,700 is what you receive in all 4 boards on the first cycle. Perpetually 49,700. It's an understatement. It's impossible to know exactly how much it is because the boards move at different rates all the time. What you put in is what you get out. I'm going to take a deep breath. As I get so excited about this, I'm going to hand you back over to Adele, who's going to take you through some of the specifics that's very important to understand. Back over to you.
Oh, thanks, Tim. You get me so excited about it. I want to join again, but I'm blessed enough to be in. And when you have joined Gift of Legacy, you have joined an activity. And here are the activity guidelines. In your first cycle, you gift $100 unconditionally to the legend when you register. You then invite 2 like-minded, like-hearted people to join with you. No space fillers. Don't just sign people up or share your link. These are going to be your 2 people who are going to invite their 2 people and do the same. I've just answered a question in the chat. The magic equation, Gift of Legacy, is very simple. It's 2 by 2 by 2. That's how we build our community. That's how the boards move. And if you are not inviting your 2 and they're not doing that, then that's when you are not going to see the movement that we're talking about. So you're going to help everybody to do exactly the same, 2 by 2 by 2. Then we have a perpetual cycle. Like Tim said, there are no perpetual boards. There are only 4 boards. Tim explained them. I call them the 4 Ferris wheels. We talk about riding your boards of abundance. They're Ferris wheels, ongoing, forever and ever, perpetually, generational wealth. On your perpetual cycle, once you have completed your first cycle, you are auto-joined to enter the higher board, the next level up. Once you have been confirmed as a gifter, you are auto-joined to a board of the same value that you have just completed. So that means when you finish bronze, your $100, you move on to your silver, the $400, and then you go back onto the bronze to ride it again. You're now on 2 Ferris wheels at the same time. This is your perpetual position. You gift the legend after 24 hours of joining the board, and your perpetual positions ensure the integrity and sustainability of Gift of Legacy. It's important to know that you cannot advance from the bronze until you have invited your 2 confirmed gifters. And if at any point in time your invitees leave Gift of Legacy, you need to tap it up. You always have to have 2 active invitees linked to your name. So why do you want to join Gift of Legacy? Well, why not? That's always my question. It's user-friendly. Our website has got a unique personal profile that gives you all the information you need. It's everything right there at your fingertips. I very seldom use Gift of Legacy on my laptop. It's on my phone with me. I'm mobile. I'm a girl and I love my phone, and it's with me all the time. It's a fail-safe system. We've got the board splitting Tim told you about, which assists you to move forward, but also make sure that no one gets left behind. We have got an innovative algorithm. Now, people are asking about the algorithm in the chat right now. Gift of Legacy is an algorithm. It's a website. An algorithm is just a set of computer codes that tells the computer to give you certain information. If you do this, you're going to land on this board. If you do that, you're going to land on that board. This is the person that you need to gift. And that's what an algorithm is. An algorithm responds to activity. And if you are active in Gift of Legacy, you will see the rewards of this innovative algorithm. We talk about cross-pollination, which means the first cycle and the perpetual boards are connected through our unique Gift of Legacy global community. So there are certain steps in the algorithm that ensure that if you cannot follow your inviter, because that's a critical thing, you always follow your inviter. But if you can't follow your inviter, then cross-pollination applies. You are then going to land on another board, but in the end, you always go back and follow your inviter. We are a global community. Our community comprises of people across the world. We use different languages. We got a board chat. I was greeted last night. When I woke up this morning, I was greeted by a lady speaking Mexican. She was greeting me from a place called Chihuahua. And I didn't even know that place existed. But I was so excited. I didn't know what she was saying. I used Google Translate and I found out what she was saying. So I can't wait to speak to you in person, Gabby. We are not limited to 2 invitees. Each profile must have a minimum of 2, but you can invite more. And if you're as excited and as active in Gift of Legacy as Tim and I are, you're going to talk to everyone you know. We've got a wonderful community support team. I'm part of that team. I have the highest respect for the people who work in support. They're always there to help and assist you. And if you have got a query, please log a ticket on our support email so that people can help you and we can trace any queries and sort them out. You can fast track, and there's board splitting that allows people to move faster if you so wish. There's lots of training videos available. Fast tracking, in a nutshell, means you can do speed coloring in. You can color your world faster. So once you're on bronze, if you have $400 available to you, you don't need more than your first 2 invitees. You can move on to a silver board, gift the legend, wait an hour, then you take $1,600 from your back pocket, and you then join gold. Same thing, wait for an hour to be confirmed, and then you go onto your platinum board and you gift the legend there. That means you're on all 4 of those Ferris wheels that I spoke about, riding those boards at the same time, getting those gifts in and making sure that you're coloring your world really fast. It's important to know that we do not promote Gift of Legacy on social media. That's just to maintain the integrity and security of our community, and to make sure that we get like-hearted people in. There are no filling of spaces. All your invitees need to duplicate the system so that the boards maintain momentum. Again, the magic equation is 2 by 2 by 2. Please do not just go and sign up yourself again and perhaps a charity or anything like that, or just use a random name so that you can fill up 2 spaces and get your invitees. No, please do not do that. That is not within the guidelines of Gift of Legacy. You need to be the messenger, not the message. So share the link tree, share the links for these recordings, for these presentations, and let people like Tim and I, who've been through the system, who are active and passionate, let us explain for you. You just invite your guests and you chat to them afterwards. You need to attend presentations, watch recordings, stay plugged in. There is so much happening. We're a dynamic community. We're not a static community. Things change and it's exciting. So stay up to date with what we're doing. There's so much training available and you need to just find out what's happening. And if you don't know what's happening on trainings, go look at the link tree, go look at our academy on the profile. Everything you need to know is there. There's so much information that is put out daily for people to learn more about Gift of Legacy. We're totally transparent. So you are going to participate in your own rescue. It is important to understand there are no guarantees in Gift of Legacy. Your activity, your success or failure is totally dependent on what you do. Follow the guidelines, plug in, be active, and all of those numbers that Tim mentioned are within your grasp. It remains your responsibility to make sure that you are compliant to the tax laws in your country. Gift of Legacy is a decentralized platform or community, as I've said earlier. There is no third-party affiliation, no ownership or partnership. If you're joining Gift of Legacy via any third party, anybody who makes you sign a contract, anybody who puts you on spreadsheets and tells you what you need to do, that's at your own risk. There are 2 things you need to do to join Gift of Legacy. You send an unconditional gift from your heart of $100, and you invite 2 people and you teach them to do exactly the same, 2 by 2 by 2. Gift of Legacy is 100% peer-to-peer, and no funds are ever sent to any platform or central bank account. It's always sent from the gifter to the legend on the board once you have landed and you have contacted them.
Amazing stuff. Sure, it's such a simple system, and
Absolutely.
yet there's a lot of things that are given to people to make it so simple for everybody. So if you're looking at this and going, wow, this seems like quite a lot, it's actually not. And you find this out by just biting one chunk at a time as you're going through, but start. So here's an amazing thing which has been added on. Majority of us, and I know Adele, myself, and I'll talk just on behalf of us, are here because we love giving back to the communities, to people, to help other people be able to generate their own income. But a lot of people can't introduce their 2, or they don't have they don't have $100. So there's an opportunity where you can apply to GGM Movement in order to have a church or a caregiver or soup kitchen, animal welfare, any charity organization or somebody in need who's not capable of putting $100 in themselves or bringing in their 2. So you can help them come in with a love heart position. So once you've registered, you've brought in your 2, you've gifted your legend, then you can apply. Just it's on the screen when you log in. You can click on it, brings up a form, apply to the committee to bring in an organization. You would then sponsor that $100, and typically that $100 would go to another love heart organization or charity. It doesn't form as part of your lineage. This is outside of that, and you also don't bring in the other 2 because those 2 people will come in from other love heart people. So I've got 3 love heart positions that I've opened for 1 person in need medically and for 2 charity organizations. And that is another way that you can then help the people in need, which is what we're actually here for. So you can help those in need while also helping yourself. And after all, it starts with your own oxygen mask. And in addition there, you'll see ggmmovement.org donate. There's also a button as you're getting additional income in. You want to donate to the organization, to the sustainability of Gift of Legacy. You're welcome to do that as well. I see we've got somebody who replied or sent a message in Russian. Well, it's in some. I'm not sure if it's Russian or Czechoslovakian. I wouldn't know, but what I'd encourage you to do, if you're understanding English, I did ask you to type then, is join one of the international calls. Adele, we've got them all over the world. Is that right?
We've got them everywhere, Tim. And if people just plug in to our Telegram groups and find out from the people who invited them into our community, you will find out where all of our presentations are in different languages. But our main official English Gift of Legacy presentations on a Monday night, when we motivate you for the week ahead. Tuesday night is the only night we have a live presentation, so get all your guests on next week. Tuesday and Wednesday night, we do orientation and training. And I'm letting a small cat out of the bag. Lots of the questions that you've asked in the chat tonight are going to be answered tomorrow night. So tune in, watch the groups, and find out more, learn more about this beautiful community. So Gift of Legacy has got 3 Telegram groups. They are there for you to find out more and to stay plugged in. My favorite is the testimonials. It's not always open. It's open when admin are able to manage, but this is where people put their uncut, raw emotions, their videos and their stories. And last week or the week before, we shared a beautiful story by a lady who's on the call tonight, Queenist. I know her. She's a dear, dear lady, and she was so excited when she got her first gold gift. Go watch the videos. She was in her work clothes when she got her gold gift, and I get goosebumps even talking about it. It's beautiful to see.
I loved hearing her story. You can see the raw emotion and passion in there, and the gratitude was just overwhelming, phenomenal.
Yeah. So it's amazing. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for anybody who joined. If I invited you, and if somebody else invited you, thank you for taking the time tonight to spend time with us. I ask you to go back to them and just let them know what you found interesting. Tell them what was the one golden nugget or what was the key thing that you found interesting, and they'll share more information with you. You might not understand everything, but I ask you to understand 2 things. All it takes to join Gift of Legacy is $100 unconditional gift from you to somebody else. Color their world, teach 2 other people to do the same, and you can join these wonderful boards of abundance with us. Tim?
Amazing. Thank you very much. Let's stop this sharing. Adele, what a privilege to chat with you again. Your
Always.
energy, and I can hear it in your voice and everything that goes on. And if you don't know, on this call, Adele actually gives quite a bit of her time, and she's family. She's got family. She's got her own businesses, and she gives a lot of her time to help the support network as well. So thank you from the community for your time and commitment. And guys, we're all volunteers here. Adele and I aren't representing GL at all. We're just representing ourselves because we know what we've got here. That's what we give our time up for. Even support, complete volunteers. Always looking for more volunteers, by the way, as well. And so consider that if you are going on the board chat. But one of the questions I always ask Adele is, and I'll ask it now in case you haven't heard it, is to say, we've got this wonderful academy online. And I see, thank you. I don't know who it was who replied there. Look at the academy on the chat. So I was having a look at it here on YouTube. We've got this amazing academy. But Adele, when people get hold of support, you're not 24 hours a day. So it may take a bit of time. It could take a couple of days. You don't work on weekends. You put a support ticket in on a Friday. It might only get answered on Tuesday or Wednesday. Why? Because they're volunteers. They'll get there. But what is the quicker way that 99% of all the queries can be answered?
Click on the link tree or click on the academy on your profile, because that's where the link tree is. It's got all the information. The A to Z document is there. And sometimes the reason we take time getting back to your support is we going and looking in the A to Z document for the answers ourselves. We go and watch recordings. I go and do it. I go watch the recordings. I go and listen. This was said then on that date. I go and check the A to Z document and I send it to you. So much quicker if you just do it yourself. Go and have a look at that A to Z document. Go and read it. My answer to that is now 100%, because everything that has been created, developed in Gift of Legacy has been documented in some way or form. Everything has been documented. And if you look on the link tree, you will find it. So everything is here. I said to you earlier, we are 100% transparent. And
Great.
I'm 100% clear about that. All the information is there. Nothing is not explained. If you don't understand it, go read it again. Go watch a presentation again. Go and listen again.
Yeah,
But all
correct.
the information.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here every week, in order to help this. So,
Yep.
without question. And thank you for the people who are giving questions and comments in the chat. I'm reading this quickly here. I see Alethea, sorry if I mispronounce it, says, if we can't get our 2 gifters, will we be automatically thrown out from our group? It's actually a very good question. We didn't touch on that. Adele, do you want to just touch on that very quickly? What happens if
we
somebody doesn't bring you?
We certainly don't throw anybody out of legacy. Nobody is thrown out. My goodness, we're not that kind of a community at all. If you have reached bronze legend and you have not invited your 2 invitees, something called sidelining happens. Just means you're given a little bit of time to find your invitees. So you're not removed, your profile is still there, but you will not be able to progress onto the silver or onto the bronze perpetual. You will receive your 800 gifts. Don't use them all, because you need to keep your gifts to move onto the 400 board and 1 to go back onto the perpetual. But it gives you that extra bit of time to find your invitees. So you are sidelined. It just means you're stepping out of the race. Like if you get a cramp, you step out of the race and you wait until you're well enough to carry on with the race. So you're not removed. You will be removed from Gift of Legacy if you're not active. It is a gifting activity. So you need to log in every 30 days. And we've got a wonderful support team. We send you emails. You haven't logged in for 14 days. You haven't logged in for 21 days. You haven't logged in for 28 days. You've got 48 hours left to log in. Get a little red block around you. You get ample warning. You need to log in. If you're not logging in, you're not active. Then you will be auto-removed. But even if you're auto-removed, you contact support at giftoflegacyglobal.com and you go, guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't log in. And they can sort it out. You know what? We are a community of like-hearted, like-minded people. We just ask you to be active with us.
Yeah, that's it. Imagine not turning up to work for 7 days and then 14 days and going back to your boss and say, oh, sorry, boss, I haven't been here for 14 days. But listen, what's been happening? Can I still have my job? Probably not. No. And then you don't get paid. You don't make any money because you don't bother turning up and being active. And then you go to the boss, oh, sorry, boss, I haven't done anything, but please pay me. What's your boss going to say? No.
Yep.
So please don't join and not do anything. So for the person who said, would you get kicked off the group? Perhaps you're in a position, I'm not sure of your story, but what I would encourage you to do is go onto that link tree, as Adele said, go and have a look at the academy and look for the training that Chris did called AIDA. That is going to help you identify some simple ways in which you can speak to people to introduce them to this environment. So you don't have to go and reinvent the wheel. We've got all of that information to make it simple for you. So go and have a look.
And there's another training. There's another training that I love because I did it and I do it every day. It's called Make Your Circle Bigger. Yes. We say don't promote Gift of Legacy on social media, but there are ways to do it, because many of you who are on the call tonight who I invited, I sent 100 people a message at 6 o'clock this evening. And I said, please join me on the call tonight. So I know some of you are going to watch the recording, so hi. But I know that I sent 100 messages because I went and checked my WhatsApp status and I looked to see how many people had responded to a specific message I put out this morning. There were 108 people. I only sent to 100 of them because 8 of them are already in Gift of Legacy. And I invited 100 people to the call tonight.
Amazing.
And that's using social media wisely. Go and watch my training, Make Your Circle Bigger. It was on the 2nd of June, the 1st of June and the 7th of June. Those are the dates. It's all in the link tree. Go check it out.
That's it. And value this training. It's free. I wish we were actually charging for it because maybe people would take it more seriously. So when you go on, pretend you're paying for it. not only in your own time, but physically paying for it. And then maybe there'll be a bit more respect for the information that's in there, because it's decades of knowledge and information in there that you can actually take and apply in all spheres of your life and other business as well. So I think we're up for this evening. Adele, I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to share. You've mentioned already. I think tomorrow night we've got Candace on, who's going to be going through about the boards, I believe. So the one gent who did.
Now, there's lots of exciting things being discussed tomorrow.
Great.
Clarity that lots of people are asking for. So please join us and invite your groups, your people to join. Be active in our community. I'm going to keep saying this. We need to be active. We're a gifting activity. Stay plugged in. Don't go looking for answers elsewhere. It's on these calls, the official calls, that you hear the information first. On other calls, you're going to hear disseminated information. This is where the nitty-gritties are released first. The cats, the information, and the utmost truth. So watch these calls and then share the information to your people. Thank you, Tim. It's been an absolute pleasure, and looking forward to tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Wonderful. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much, Adele. Ciao, good night.
Thanks, Tim. Good night.